New York City set up a system that would provide free lawyers to tenants facing eviction, but squatters are also offered free lawyers. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's coming out of New York City. Now, I've mentioned before, they have this whole thing where they want to give free eviction lawyers to tenants so that they help them fight their case, okay? And I'm 100% opposed to it. I've always been 100% opposed to it because in my mind, this is a civil case between two individual parties. This is not a case of the government versus a private citizen, right? Where if the government, has, their prosecuting attorney and the private citizen is unable to defend themselves because they don't have an attorney, then they need to offer a free lawyer. But instead, this is a case where one private citizen is suing another private citizen. So in my mind, both of the people need to either be able to represent themselves by, paying for their own attorneys. So the landlord in these cases is always expected to pay for their own attorney. But the tenant, they want to give the tenant a free lawyer. So that puts the landlord at a distinct disadvantage almost immediately because a lot of landlords, especially small mom and pops, they represent themselves. And a lot of landlords who do pay for attorneys, they don't have unlimited budgets to just keep on, paying to fight cases. So a lot of them give up. They give up because it is too expensive and it takes too long to take care of a tenant. And instead, they'll just, hey, I'll pay you to leave. I'll pay you to leave, or I'll let you win and you can just stay, And that's a nightmare situation. That's a bad thing for a landlord to have to make those kind of sacrifices, okay? So, I'm not a support of this giving free eviction lawyers to tenants, whether they're actual tenants or not. But the situation I'm talking about today is actually the fact that squatters actually, because they pretend to be tenants, because they're not really tenants, right? But somehow under the law, they are seen as tenants. They also are being given free lawyers. So you'll have these people who are illegally squatting inside someone else's property, and the city of New York, the government, is paying for that person to stay in your property illegally, okay? Now, they're like, oh, this is a civil issue. This is part of the reason why squatters' rights laws need to be rewritten, okay? Because this is an absolute farce, an absolute joke. The very tax money that you're paying, the city is being used to basically screw yourself over, Like, don't these people care anything about property rights? That's my question. Because if you own a property and somebody did this to you, you certainly would expect the police to be able to come in there and remove that person. But instead, they're kind of like, oh, well, no, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So my personal belief is that they don't believe in property rights, that they want to go to a system where the government owns all the property and they want to screw over as many landlords as possible. That's my personal belief. I believe that they want to drive landlords out of business because they hate landlords. They hate personal property ownership, and they want socialism or communism. Okay, that's the only thing that the only reasonable belief that I could come to after seeing why them throw all these stupid laws on the books. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. So what do you think of them providing free attorneys to squatters? Do you think that was the original intention? And seeing as how it wasn't the original intention, why haven't they changed the law? Okay, so if nothing else, make it so that the squatters are not eligible for these attorneys. I mean, that would be so easy. It is so easy to prove that somebody is squatting in a property. But no, they think all landlords are evil. They're all trying to screw over good tenants. So therefore, we're going to, it's idiotic. It's an idiotic assumption, and it's screwing over a lot of good landlords, and it's only going to cost the tenants in the long run because they're going to have less affordable housing. There's going to be a lot less housing available, and it's going to be way, way more expensive. So anyway, let me get into this article and tell you about this whole situation. This article is coming from Pix11.com, and it says, New York City offers free lawyers for residents facing evictions, including squatters. Yeah, including squatters. Woo. That's something that, you really want to pay, your taxes toward, providing free lawyers for squatters. If you're a resident of New York City and facing a possible eviction, the city has a program that will provide you with legal services for free. The right to counsel law is available no matter your immigration status. So yeah, illegal aliens are also available to get free lawyers. Woo, that's what we need, Lots of, squatters getting free lawyers and illegal aliens getting lawyers. This is a wonderful law they have in New York. RTC aims to help tenants facing eviction in housing court or New York City Housing Authority administrative proceedings access to free legal representation and advice from across the 5 boroughs, according to New York City's website. To get a lawyer under the RTC law, go to your first court appearance to say, "I would like an attorney," according to the city's website. Someone in New York City who is squatting in a home could use the city's RTC law to gain legal representation during their legal battle once the eviction process has started. It only takes 30 days to gain squatter rights in New York, according to the state's Real Property Actions and Proceedings Law 711. Under state law, squatting is a form of an adverse possessor, someone who occupies the property of another person or entity with or without knowledge of the other's superior ownership rights that would give the owner a cause of action for ejectment. So why in the right world would you give someone squatter rights after only 30 days? Why give them squatter rights at all, okay? I mean, we're talking about, this isn't the year 1800 here. This is the year 2024. It is not necessary to have squatter rights anywhere, ever, okay? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. If someone doesn't own something, they have no right to it. You just can't you walk over to a plot of land, "Yep, this is mine now. I've been here for 30 days, so therefore I own it." No, it's idiotic. Yet they keep these old, stupid laws on the books, and then they're sitting there and they're like, "Why are we enforcing this? Why?" Nobody is in support of this. No one. Nobody thinks that you should be able to steal something from someone else. That's dumb. To learn more information about New York City's RTC law, click here, it says. And you know what? I'm not going to read any more about their law. It's a dumb law, okay? The only thing I want to say is that them providing these free lawyers to squatters is only going to make the problem worse. It's going to cause more people to want to be squatters. That's why you read about all these squatter stories coming out of places like New York and California, okay? Because they have so many laws on the books that make it easy for them to be able to take other people's property. And then to make matters worse, going through the eviction process is extremely slow. Whether there's a lawyer or not involved, it's going to be extremely slow. So these people can end up staying in a property that, the proper owner wants to, get returned to them. They could end up staying there for months or years. And that's just wrong. It's wrong. It's theft, it's fraud, it's so many things. And yet the laws on the books right now, they don't say that. And they act like they don't want to change these laws either. That's the other problem, okay? I don't understand why they are so against changing the laws just so that these sort of issues don't happen to the good people, okay? And for the few bad actors out there, the few bad landlords who are doing something wrong, there's already laws on the books to take care of them. So what's the issue, other than, they just hate property owners. That's what it comes down to. They're socialists. They want the government to own everything, and they want to drive as many landlords out of business as possible because, my personal opinion is they're jealous, but I don't know.